managed to rip my jacket too. I ripped my jacket.
Oh no. I understand nycklar, but that's about it.
Yes, mine are here.
Yes.
My humble abode.
Thank you.
Also of you, it's not Nazi, but it's like the Russian equivalent.
What is?
These are like vodka cups from the communist party of the Soviet Union.
Soviet champagne.
Yeah. Okay, so better cup.
Oh wow, that's the biggest coffee cup I've ever seen.
Yeah, we have nothing in between, it seems. This is what we have. I haven't had enough coffee today, so I make the big pot.
I was at the
Should we be in one speaker each, like when you listen in headphones? If we put it like this, then I will be mostly in
the right ear,
and you're in the left.
No, it doesn't.
Then you can be good cop and I'll be bad cop.
I was sitting in a window seat in a cafe in. Is it like Liljaholmen?
Mm-hmm.
It's a middle way from to here.
Yeah.
So I was my sleeves were rolled and I was working on a laptop and I noticed that old lady was taking time from my watch through the window, and that's a bit weird. And then she like I noticed that she like got nervous and started running fast away. But my watch is in Finland's time.
Oh no! So she thought she was late for something.
And I stood up and I went outside and then I tried to find her, but she disappeared to the crowd. So it's weird.
So she's gonna be somewhere really early, thinking that she's already late.
Yeah.
I wonder where she was heading. Coffee.
Yeah, thanks.
Say.
More. Oh wait, that's a bigger cup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, thank you. Last time we spoke, you were in the States.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was great. I was on vacation for the first time in forever.
Where were you?
In California.
Oh, you were there the whole time?
Yeah, it was only 3.5 weeks.
Only 3.5 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, I have traveled quite a lot, and the last couple of winters I've been away for like 3-4 months. So 3 weeks feels like only 3 weeks.
Were you in LA or in North?
Well, yeah, we started in LA and then we ended in LA. But we were just visiting friends around in California, and we managed to hit 6 national parks without us even like planning to do like a nature trip. But we realized by the end it was like, okay, wait, we've been to 6 national parks by now, and we had like an annual entrance card and stuff for the national parks because it was just worth it.
Did you go to the festival, Desert Days, after all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, we were supposed to play.
Yeah, but I know there was some like visa issues or something.
Yeah, we didn't get the visas in time.
Yeah, but it's always. I've been thinking that I would volunteer for the Desert Days someday because I admire their. Like every year I Google their photos from the festivals. It looks amazing.
It's amazing.
They had I think they had this like it's Mad Alchemy or someone, the visual guy.
Oh yeah.
Mad Alchemy, I think. Yeah. It's really like a greatest thing I've ever seen.
It was fantastic. Like the one of the big stages, it was really good. And they had where they put tarp out over the audience, and you have like tarp on the sides.
What's that?
Like a big fabric.
Yeah. Okay.
So the projections, I tried to figure out how he did it, but I couldn't. Because it was definitely like, you know, analog manual projections, bowls and like oil in pans.
Yeah.
You know, but it was projected on so many surfaces. Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. But it was a weird vibe at the festival.
How's that?
Well, it's too close to LA to start with.
It's really expensive, I think.
Yeah, it's really expensive, and the people coming. I mean, everybody's nice. Everybody's nice if you give them the chance. But as a group, LA people can be
annoying.
Yeah, slightly. Or it's just like very American, and it's very different from what you're used to. Like your festival, the vibe to me was so much more festival. This was more like
the festival vibe? What's that?
Well, you know, like people coming somewhere and it's a space for people to just feel free and forget about what they have to do, and you just enjoy yourself. I mean, that's the festival. You celebrate something and just have fun. But this festival was equal amount showroom for your sort of personal brand as it was actually enjoying it being there. But it has like a
too much Instagram or something.
Too much Instagram, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but still the lineup was crazy. The lineup was absolutely crazy. There was so many good bands.
Yeah,
it was like all the good bands in the world in one festival this year. To me, it was like the best lineup I've ever seen.
What was the show you enjoyed most?
I liked Krang.
Oh yeah, Krang, yeah.
Yeah, they. I saw them in Öja. Was it last year or something?
I asked them to play at H2O in I think 4 years ago. They were a much smaller band then.
Yeah,
they answered the email like personally. There was no like booking agent in the bit. I remember that then.
Yeah.
But suddenly they become like a huge.
Yeah. I remember they played at a place here in Stockholm right when they just like blasted through the roof. So it was like a place for 60 people, and it was I mean, I think it was probably like 500 people wanting tickets. So it was really at the wrong venue.
I love those like moments. When I book bands and artists, I enjoy the most when I see them like in a small room before nobody knows about them, and then a couple of years later they are playing in some late night TV show or something.
Yeah. Yes. But they were great. And who else? I watched Always. You know, the pop band.
Yeah.
That was good. And what else? I just, you know, the weird thing about festivals to me is that I always seem to not see the shows. One night when I came to Desert Days, I didn't even get to the festival before I wanted to go to the bathroom on my way to the festival because it was like a long walk from the parking lot. And then I saw this, it's in a camping, like a proper camping area, so you have like proper parking lots and proper restrooms and everything. So I was heading for these restrooms, but they were all dark. And when I got there, I realized that they were closed for some reason. But then from the shadows, there's like a voice just like, hello? And there was a guy sitting there in the shadows outside of the festivals. And it turned out that he had taken too much acid. And he didn't know where he was, and he couldn't see anymore. And I was just trying to like, it's all gonna be fine. It's gonna pass. In 12 hours you're gonna be back again, and it's no worries. You have a full moon here, and there's a lake, and you can just sit here and take it easy, and you're gonna be fine. Because he was sort of like having a bad trip. And then he said, Yeah, okay, I understand. For a second there, I thought I was talking to someone in Dungen. And I was like, no, that's actually true. You were talking to someone in Dungen. So he was messed out, and we had just
that
a hilarious, we just had a hilarious, very confused conversation for a long time. And then by the end, when I finally got to the festival, because friends in Viagra Boys were playing.
I love their song, the Sports.
Yeah,
it's my favorite song ever.
But they are amazing. I mean,
I've never seen them live.
You have to. They're like a perfect live band.
Yeah, they visited Finland in some weird nightclub like 2 years ago or something. I don't know. I missed them completely, but I actually heard their music after that, I think.
Yeah, if you get the chance, go see them. I mean, that brings back the whole joy of live music.
Are they from Stockholm?
I think most of them. Sebastian, the guy who sings, I don't know them too well, like the core of the band. And Elias, who plays the keyboards now, is also in the Hangman.
Yeah.
And Oscar Karls, who plays the saxophone. It's we're sort of in the same circle of friends. Yeah, but so they are from Stockholm, but I don't know about all of them.
Not every Swedish musician know each other.
No, not everybody, but almost.
You can play the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game. That.
Yeah. How far are you from Sebastian Murphy in Viagra Boys? It's only 6 people always. So it doesn't matter if we take like Elizabeth in.
It's 6 people to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, it's only Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, but it's
But it could be anyone. Or does it have to be a famous person? Have someone tried to do this with like a random, just nobody in somewhere, like in the countryside of France? Would you have like 6 steps to shut?
What are the rules? What's the connection between the steps?
I don't know. You know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows this person in the French countryside.
You have to know someone or like heard of someone. How does it?
I'd imagine if I had to construct the rules for a game, that I would say that you could make like a chain of phone calls. If you could reach this farmer in the Rhone Valley or something in France, like in 6 steps, you get hold of
phone calls.
Yeah, 6 phone calls. You'd like get his number. I don't know how you do that, but it's a challenge.
We used to, before internet, I used to play like ice hockey as a kid, and the team used to communicate via telephone. We have like a list in alphabetical order of all the players and coaches, and we had to call the next one when we got the phone call from the last one. But I don't think that was quite efficient. But it's always there's this like a child's play that the story does not come out as
same in the end.
It's I'm not sure if it's
so I hope you weren't talking about strategies for the next game. Like the first person says something and then in the end someone comes out on the ice hockey rink and does something completely different.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it was about practice days and stuff like that. It was a long time ago. Did you used to, when you were younger, did you like to play sports? Did you ever like have a passionate hobby?
I was skateboarding. I started playing soccer or football, and then I discovered skateboarding. And
how did you discover it?
Well, it was probably because my older brother found it somehow. He was a genius at finding things, considering we lived out in nowhere.
Where did you live?
In a small like industrial town in Småland, southern Sweden. And he started listening to like hip hop and kept track of things happening in cool places and started skateboarding. I don't understand where he got that from. This was before internet, of course. But he just like sucked everything up like a sponge. And it trickled down on me, of course. So I started skateboarding, and then when I was 11, I just dropped out of football because it was just like the whole competitiveness.
You don't like competitiveness?
Not at all, actually. And skateboarding is more aesthetics, you know, like surfing or whatever you do for your experiencing, like the actual just act of doing something. That's the gratification of doing it. And to me, that's a lot better motivation than someone telling me I won over someone else.
But wouldn't you like consider that it's the team playing thing in a like
Oh, that too. I mean, of course, team playing is nice. It makes you an efficient person.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've had like weird thoughts about team playing and being like and trying to be an individual and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, why? What did you? How are your line of thoughts?
Well, I was just thinking that because most of the stuff that I've ever done in my life, I've done with bunch of friends or in a group. So I just like this podcast is like my solo stuff. So it's like I want to do something like by myself. It's like maybe I'm heading to middle life crisis.
But in what way do
those are like just like thoughts that are like rolling in my head. They aren't like truths, you know. I'm just thinking that how about that or why am I doing this or that.
But what have you been thinking with like if you do something with other people or in a team, in what way is it a conflict with your like individual expression?
Well, there's lots of like compromises, you know.
Yeah.
And then for example, festival thing. It's like we've done it we've known each other for a very long time, but I've been thinking that maybe in the 20s, the next decade, I should try to make something in the northern Finland, where I'm from. Like I would be my own boss, and I would hire like cultural managers to work for me, and then I probably would fail, but I've been thinking about something like being my own boss.
To be a proper festival general.
Yeah, no, I'm not that. As you know, our festival is on a hiatus. How it's pronounced? Is it? I only I see the word in writing, but I don't know how it's pronounced. But yeah, but we're taking a year off, so I'm not sure. I'm sort of been released from the pressure of making the lineup, and I've been quite happy.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I'm not sure if my future is in the festival game anymore, but.
No, I mean, we talked a little about it. I mean, when we did the Solsystem, we only did it for 3 years.
Really? That was only 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
But that's same as the H2O.
Yeah.
That was only 3 years, but the Ilmiö is been like
so it's...
it's around.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the people, or at least Nils, who was part of Solsystem crew, he is still doing festivals. He's more like you. He can't help himself. But to me, I mean, I was okay. If everybody wanted to do another festival, I'd definitely do it because it was a lot of fun. But man, it's so much work, and the whole process of, at least for us, because you're a group of people, and. You never really talk about how to organize, or at least we didn't do it, how we should organize. It was fairly loose, like the different tasks of people. And to always, like, you have to talk about everything in order to everybody be happy. And then in the end, of course, not everybody can be super happy about everything. But I mean, we were pretty close, I think, because it felt like everybody was really proud and happy about what we have done. But man, that's a process. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I really understand.
Yeah,
you having done how many festivals?
11.
Yeah. You need a break, man.
But I'm not. I like the work actually. I don't like. I don't want to like stop the work, whatever that means. But there's more like the pressure is like that's what I don't like. That the pressure is something I put on myself because I want to be top myself every year. I want to be better, and I don't want to like stay on the same level. So it's like if every year is the same, then I'm like feel that the work is unnecessary or something.
Is that due to your competitiveness?
My I'm not sure. That's a quite deep question because I'm not sure how who is the one I'm competing against. You know.
The memory of
if you want to win something, what's the game?
I mean, I thought you were competing with yourself last year, the last year version of yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking that I should be thinking more about the Mikko of tomorrow, for example, because I'm leaving tomorrow early morning. I'm taking the fantastic Silja ferry to Åbo.
Yes,
and I know that it's like 6 a.m. or something, and it's the awful travel to the other side of the town, and that's equals I should not drink today alcohol. Yeah, because that's if I want to think Mikko of tomorrow more than Mikko of past or Mikko of today, because if I start having fun today and I go to some after party after the show in Fasching, I'm happy, but the Mikko of tomorrow is angry at me.
Oh, but the Mikko of tomorrow can sleep in the afterdeck.
And I'm pretty sure he will curse and be long-faced when he's walking towards the terminal.
Yeah, I can't drink anymore. I can drink, but it costs too much.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Yeah, and it's funny because I'm not. I made one episode of this podcast with my friend Diksa De, who's like a spoken word artist in Finland, and we were completely wasted, and we put the rec on, and that episode has become like a cult favorite. So it's like I'm not like I don't drink much. I really like for the past 5 months, every time I've been drunk, it's been on this tape. So but that because it's like people I'm scared that I will have this reputation. I'm some
drunk podcaster.
No, yeah, but it's like I'm some kind of a Hunter S. Thompson or something. But I'm actually quite the opposite.
Well, I mean, if it's a tradition, I think I have some rum or some gin. I don't know if you like something to drink. I mean,
maybe I'll have more coffee or something.
Okay, yeah, we have more coffee, but you have to pick up the pace, otherwise I will probably finish it.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm endless when it comes to coffee.
Yeah. I switched to tea basically, but.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Still, I'm really interested about what difference have you accomplished now then with your experience of individuality now that you have a solo project?
What's the difference?
Yeah, from when you were working in a team.
Maybe. I have to be careful when I answer that. But I see failures in a places that there's no failure. That's my I don't know, like for with the festival, I know that everything is fine, but I still can't accept that in a way. And it's like I'm not sure. That's been like something I need to work on more better. But this podcasting is like irresponsible. Like
you can't fail.
I can and I will. But there's no I just do it for the sake of doing it, and it's been really lots of fun. But
I get curious because when making music, I've made a lot of music on my own, just really only me.
Do you still have the high tom, low tom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
your like a solo name? Or?
Yeah, or more. Yeah, I guess so. But my my take on that whole thing sounds like when you talk about your podcast. It's just for the sake of doing it. I've never had any plans for that music. It's just like music I've made on my own, and then Joachim, who has the Xeon Light cassette company, asked me if I had any music, and then I said well, yeah, I have this, and he's like, great, I'll release it. What's it called? And I'm like, high tom, low tom. So it wasn't very thought through.
You invented the name during the phone call.
Yeah, basically. So I guess it still exists. I make music all the time, but the difference of making music on your own or making music with other people, it's easy to yearn for complete control when you do something creatively, because you get all these ideas and you get fond of your ideas, and when you're all on your own, you can actually realize all your ideas, and you can make it exactly like you hear it in your head, or like the idea what you envision. And that more often in the end, when I listen back to it, it's dead, because nothing happened. It's like the transformative process of idea becoming reality is less developed. It
lacks something.
Yeah, it lacks something, and it's the randomness of the colliding of different ideas that are not really compatible from the beginning because we're different people. But then in the end, if you make these compromises, you get something that you may feel is like a compromise, maybe, if you're very fond of your own ideas. But when you listen back to it, it's something you would never have imagined. And the whole thing of creating something out of nothing is, to me, the peak of our experience of being alive. And to be able to create something out of nothing, and you already knew in the stage of idea what it would be, it's not as much of an surprise, or like the actual, when you get to see the finished result, it's you already knew that would be it. But when you do something together with someone else, you're gonna, when it's finished, you're gonna be like, oh wow, fuck, I didn't know I had that in me. Then it's like the creation of something that never existed and you hadn't even imagined it to be, and that to me is like the real magic, like the, as I said, like the peak of what you can accomplish being alive. Like making kids too, we do that, but this is like the intellectual, same magic but in an intellectual way. We can create stuff that didn't exist. I don't know of any other life on this planet actually that does that, and I can develop a competitiveness.
There's this big Picasso who the pig who paints with, he got the paintbrush in his mouth and paints.
Oh yeah. Then we come into intent. Did the pig have an intent to express something, or did it just play around with the brush?
Maybe he got some food.
Yeah.
That food was the prize.
And Picasso did that too. He painted to be able to eat, I guess, at some point. So maybe it's not so different.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's I cannot listen to these recordings afterwards. That's like it's not that much that when you hear your own voice, it's like that's usual that you can't listen to yourself. But there's like this another level that if I want to keep this podcast as raw as possible, if I start to listen to it, I wanna edit everything. Oh my god, what am I saying? How can I be so stupid? And then it's like an endless like a whirl of despair, you know. But
so we're just gonna put this out there. I won't listen to this afterwards. Not a chance.
I have a technician who, like an outside person who will.
This is part of your new organization.
Yeah,
someone.
Slowly. Yeah. But maybe I should just force myself to listen to what I'm doing. But if you listen to your own music, you in a way you hear yourself in it. But it can be some psychological thing. If it sounds dead, your own music, then it reflects your like it's your own voice, something.
Yeah, it's about as exciting as watching yourself in the mirror. But it's weird because I listen so much to music I make. When I'm in the process of recording stuff, I listen to it all the time.
When it's finished, you just have to give it up. You have to just...
Yeah, but I can go back to stuff and listen to it afterwards if I'm happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I never listen to it. It's just like, ugh. But in the process of making it, especially, then it's like non-stop repeat. I listen and it's just like I hear this. I get like detached from the whole listening process. It's a different sort of listening than when you listen to music just for disappearing into the music. This is more like dissecting music.
I think Seinfeld said that if you're really intensively focused on something, you can never go back to it afterwards. If you like,
yeah, it might be true. It's crazy actually. I mean, I have that shelf. It's like stuff I've been involved in making. I never listened to it.
That shelf there.
Yeah.
Well.
Something for the grandkids.
Yeah.
That's what I do for a living. I produce postcards for my grandkids.
Yeah. I've said in an earlier episode of this podcast that this is like a sort of a diary for my child.
Yeah.
In a way.
And he's gonna be like, my dad was the drunk podcaster.
Yeah. But that's like, so this far it's like that episode is like rated. It's rated R. Then you can like. No.
So he's had to be what, 18 to listen to it?
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
There's lots of cursing.
How do you do it? How is she doing, rather? Your kid? What's her name?
Madja. Yeah, she's fine. She's turning into a teenager, and Teenagers are monsters.
Oh man.
That's like the.
Yeah.
I'm scared of what will like the next few years will be like.
Yeah, it can go any way, basically. I mean, I get scared of that too, like thinking of myself in that age. But I think things have changed. I am sure teenagers today are not behaving like I did when I was
I'm not sure about that. There are like the.
I'm trying to stay positive.
Sorry.
It's a wild era of life, right? So many things happening in your teens.
I didn't like to be a teenager. When I sometimes I have these moments that I guess I'm nostalgic or sentimental. I don't know which, but I like think about the past quite a lot. I always go to the age when I was like in elementary school, but I never.
What age is that?
Like when you're like maybe 10 years old or something.
Okay.
Like a childhood.
Is that your favorite age?
I think it is. I can't like choose it, but for example, when I visit Kuusamo, which is the town where I'm from, in Finland, northern Finland, and I drive around the little town, and I unconsciously go to the neighborhood where I was when I was in elementary school, like from the classes 1 to 6, and I never go to the teenager years. That's like I figured out that maybe I didn't like to be a teenager.
No. I wonder where I'd pick my favorite age. I was such a weird kid.
How come? Were you weird, or were you just your environment was different?
Probably a combination of both, right? But I was socially not very interested. It's weird too, because it's not like I was antisocial and didn't have anything to do with people, because I had friends and I was playing with the other kids most of the time, as I remember it, and we were like skateboarding all the time, and we were like a big group of people, and I had friends. I always had, like these fake girlfriends, like kids have. Like, this is my girlfriend. We've been together for 2 weeks.
We're getting married.
Yeah, exactly. But I wasn't there. I mean, I wasn't there. I was somewhere else in my head.
Were you like observing yourself, like?
I was lacking that, but more that I was not observing myself. Like how we are supposedly like conscious, like we are self-conscious, and that's basically like the whole unique selling point of human people compared to lions or dogs or whatever.
Picasso.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, but so I did not have that. For a long time, I was just doing stuff, and I didn't like. It was like I was emotionally disturbed because I couldn't. I didn't. I don't think, from my perspective today, that I was understanding anything of what was going on. I was just like.
Were you like on an autopilot or like auto?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. When did that change?
When I was 23.
Okay, so late. What happened?
When I was 23?
Yeah.
I had a big sit down thinking through my experience of being alive on this planet, in this universe, and I sort of just came to the dead end of I felt I didn't have so many questions, and I was like, wow, so this is my experience. And then I realized, oh man, there's 6 billion, 7 billion people, and they all have their unique experience of being alive. And then I got curious. And that's how I feel I woke up to other people, because suddenly I was curious. What are you experiencing? And up until that point, I couldn't care less. I wasn't interested in what other people were experiencing. I was just like walking around like a zombie, basically, along with other people.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah.
So I was a weird kid.
But I don't know. Maybe that's like a more common thing that you think that it's like a...
To go on autopilot?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, it's obvious in some cases that some people have never sort of woken up to look around them. I had an issue with that when I was making music. You needed like a certain amount of narcissism. Otherwise, why the hell would you be on a stage asking people to listen to you and pay attention to you? And I sort of like lost complete interest in myself for a while, and then playing music, like being on a stage and like writing songs and like listen to me, it felt really strange, because the interaction is only one way, you know, or like the only feedback you get is some sort of admiration, or if someone dislike you. It's just like it's not a very...
It's dishonest, like a...
Well, maybe not dishonest, but it's not very rich. It's not very nuanced. It's not like you're having an actual conversation like this, and it can take different paths. I go up on stage and I pretty much have a set, and it's like, I'm gonna make the noise and you're gonna react to my noise. And then we're done, and then you go home and I go home. It's not very interactive. And without the narcissism, that whole situation... It's not. It's hard. It's hard to. What do you say? Like. Yeah, I had a hard time motivating why I would be the one there. I started thinking, you know, there's always like people who really, really love being there, asking people to look at them. And if people are looking for someone who asks them to look at them, I can let them do that. This is maybe also why I am interested in the whole individuality in a group of people. I think of these things a lot. Because I've sort of like ended up being like, man, we are a group animal. We are made to coexist and co-work, like work together on stuff. And at the same time, we all have our individual experiences of what this whole thing is about. And that combining those two completely separate ways of living, which we all are, whether we are conscious about it or like actually think about it or not. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Kurt Vonnegut, the American novelist?
Course. Yeah.
His book Slapstick?
Slapstick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it.
It's sort of like an autobiography of him and his sister. And the whole idea in that book is that, like when you think together, you're so much smarter than if you think on your own. And he wrote about that in Cat's Cradle too, how you are probably you fulfill your whole potential if you are with the right group of people that you somehow like mystically belong with. And it's just very attractive way of looking at it to me. Like you are who you are with your own set of like potential and abilities and what you can do and perceive and experience, but it's you're also something together with other people, and then that's something different, like the synergetic effect that happens when you combine people. Blah, 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 blah. We're out of coffee.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's the alcohol?
Yeah.
Do you read a lot?
I used to, not as much anymore. At the moment I'm reading a book by, what's her name? Isabella Tree. It's about her and her husband's project of rewilding an old piece of land in southern England.
Okay.
It's really fascinating. It actually made me cry when we were in California. We were at the Henry Miller Memorial Library.
The Big Sur.
Yeah, exactly, because Magnus, the manager, is a friend of mine, and the day after we arrived he had an interview with this writer, Isabella Tree, and the whole project it's just amazing, because the theory has been that before people came to Europe, we were all just like a big forest here. That's like the theory that people are like, this is the common sense of what Europe was.
There's like these stories that a squirrel, how's it pronounced?
Yeah, could run from one coast to another and never touch the ground, sort of thing. Closed canopy theory, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And there's this Dutch sort of biologist or environmentalist or something, and he has proposed another theory, that's not the whole truth, because you have to remember there were the oxen, like the big sort of like proto-cow, and then there were like deer, and there were wild boar, and these creatures prevent forests from being closed canopy from coast to coast. So there you would be a natural like open pastures, and they would like rumble around in the dirt and like have different sort of types of environments.
Also, human population cut down trees for the heating and
that too, but that wasn't actually, I mean, from her research, because they're doing this in like the most fascinating, thorough way, but mainly the fact that you had these big animals going around eating small saplings and keeping the forest, like the trees, like where the trees were and shrubbery, you'd have like a bigger diversity in nature. And now then, they've been doing this rewilding project for like 20 years almost, and it's already transformed from these hopeless clay fields with nothing to like a really diverse forest of like ponds and shrubbery and trees, and they've attracted like 30 different species of birds that they thought would never be back in Great Britain at all. And this only in like 20 years. And what they did was they let in cows and horses and pigs and let them be just freely. And they transformed the whole environment in 20 years in a way that it attracted like all sorts of birds, foxes and squirrels and like smaller animals, and it's just like an ecosystem. And the whole idea of putting us down from the pedestal of being like the crown of creation, and it's like stop being managers of this planet and just like see it takes care of itself. It's not like we are making all these things to make the environment work better when we start doing all these conversation things. It will do that if we just let it be, but we can't let go of things. And to me, it's so fascinating reading this book, because they have been keeping track of these changes like yearly or like by the month. And it's such a fast change. And it's, to me, because I've been really depressed about the environmental issues since I was like 15 when I started being interested in it. And this book, like reading this, it's really just like empowering to me. Relief. It's a relief. I mean, I'm a humanist, so I want to save this planet in order for us people to survive. But it's also reassuring to know that since we are not going to save ourselves and we're going to die probably, or maybe the rich of us will survive in some little zoo somewhere, and the world will be perfectly fine. Because as soon as we remove ourselves and our government of the planet, it's gonna be just like back to normal in 20 years. And the few survivors will be like, oh, okay. You should read it.
Yeah, I will definitely read it, you know.
Do you read a lot?
Yeah. I read maybe too much. I don't.
Too much?
Yeah, but
Can
the way
you read too much?
Because I don't like. There have been occasions that I've started to read a book, and then I realized after 50 pages that I've already read this before. But it's like really like I forget to like most of the things I read. So it's like I don't know what to do. So I think that I should try to concentrate and read maybe more carefully or something.
What's your favorite book?
That's a tough one. Well, when I was younger, I used to read like as you said, Vonnegut was my favorite when I was like maybe 16 or 15. Yeah. I read this UFO book from this US Navy guy, Edward Ruppelt. He died in the 50s. He was the commander of Project Blue Book, which was the official UFO, the US Army official like a UFO thing. They studied UFOs when there was this huge boom in the 50s, and he was like the really serious, no nonsense army guy, and he wrote a book called Flying Saucers or something like that, and it was mind blowing. I was a bit skeptical before, but after I read that book recently, I became a UFO nerd.
But you've watched this Bob Lazar documentary then?
Sure, yeah. But I was. Bob Lazar was also. I was a bit skeptical towards him. I remember I used to listen to this Art Bell, who was this radio guy in the US. He had like this nightly show that he got open phone lines, and people would call there. There's like Bigfoot on my backyard, and that Art Bell was a guest in that show many times, and I remember. But after reading that Edward Ruppelt book, that army book, I'm like confident that they're like.
But what's in there? What does he say?
Well, he mostly like debunks stuff.
Yeah.
He's like he goes case by case and debunks famous UFO sightings from the late 40s and 50s. But then there's like he goes to the unknowns, those cases that there's no earthly explanation, and those are like mind blowing. There's like this. I got interested in this after the U.S. Navy released the Nimitz tapes, the aircraft carrier stuff. It was like official recognition of something like unidentified flying objects. So
have you listened to or like read the actual reports from the ones they released now?
Yeah, not most of them. Yeah, but it's like it's not. I always say that rabbit holes are. There's nothing more fun that a nice conspiracy theory. But I'm not like necessarily like a. But I dive into the rabbit hole and then it's like really fun. But
I had like a brief period when I was doing that too, and I was watching when they had like a press conference in Washington. Maybe this was like in, I don't know, 2010 or something. And there were like the most credible members of the UFO society with like military and there's also that like the governor or ex-governor of what Arizona.
Yeah, that's the Phoenix.
Yeah,
the Phoenix Lights is a famous.
Yeah,
that's like thousands of people saw them in 98 in the just above the Phoenix Centrum. Yeah, Central Phoenix. There was like a
this formation flying.
Yeah, there's YouTube clips of it. It's really crazy.
Yeah, and there were like I'm the same. I mean, there's probably like 99.9 examples of stories of UFOs that you can debunk in 5 minutes if you know enough. But then there's like that little part left where it's just like, well, what the fuck is this then?
Yeah, it's endlessly.
But it's a really like windy, meandering rabbit hole because I tried to research Bob Lazar and like researching things like this. It's like 99.9% of the time you bump into like incredible sources or like forums of the internet which are like the worst, and people who are like the weirdest fucking, I don't know what you call them in Finnish. In Sweden we say foliehatt, which is like tinfoil hats.
Yeah. Foliohattu.
Ah, yeah, the same thing. Yeah, foliohattu. And it's hard, like actually trying to like weed out things, researching these things. I don't know. I'd love to read that book.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to find. I can maybe send it to you. I found it from the Strand bookstore in Manhattan. It was there like I just took it from there. Yeah. So, how's music business going? Do you have like a AOP?
Oh, we do. We finished another album.
Yeah. When is that out?
I don't know.
That AOP is for adult-oriented pop.
Yeah. I have been thinking though that maybe the next album would be something like Another Ordinary Person or A Way Over.
Oh, you say that. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you can choose yourself whatever it means, but it started out as adult-oriented pop, but that was just the sort of music we were trying to do. But now it's fun because we released an album last spring. And
was that the New Beginning?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then since then it's been like a frenzy. We just like hit the stride, and we finished 2 songs like in 2 sittings, and we were like, okay, so this is like the new music, this is what we want to do. And then out of those 2 songs it just like turned into an album in 4 months, and then now we've already mixed it, and so we were just in the like point of figuring out what to do with it. But it was so fast, and it's like the easiest thing I've ever managed to create, and the most fun. It's just been like, yeah, of course, let's do this, let's do that.
All this new technology, do you still record in studios, or do you do it at home or in rehearsal rooms or something?
Well, we actually have like a fairly proper studio now. Okay. Yeah, Martin, the other half of AOP, quit his job and built a studio.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I'm so grateful, and we work as much as we can in the studio all the time. And it's fantastic. And I have also the last couple of years really been trying to learn how to do the actual tech part of the recording, like learning how to mix properly and know gear, because I've never been interested in gear at all. I've always only been interested in the expression of creativeness, and then how you do it. If you use like a harmonica or a guitar or a synthesizer, it's like I don't care. I need to like.
If a festival provides a shitty bass amp, you are just. I have to work with that.
Yes. I've never cared, but now then, like when you record something and you actually want to like make it proper, I've been like trying to learn what I want, like what I prefer. It's been it's been really nice. I'll send you a link and you can listen to it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But it's the same. I never been like a car person.
Yeah.
But suddenly I just like maybe I should like dive into cars and because I only know cars by their color basically. There's a red car. Yeah. Look at that red car.
What's your favorite car? A blue.
Yeah, a blue one. But are you? Is the Vårt Solsystem still? That was like 2018. When were you in Ilmiö last year?
18, right?
Yeah.
I think it was 18. My episodic memory is crap.
Yeah, it's might have difficulties also. But yeah.
Yeah, 17. Wait, I can see. I guess it was 17. No, 18. It was probably 18. This was released 18.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we recorded another album. When we record, we go to the old Silence studio in Värmland.
Old what studio?
Silence, like the record label Silence. They released like all the classic Swedish stuff all up in the 90s. That studio is still there and it's amazing. It's this wonderful old school, and the recording room is huge, so we can fit all 15, 16 people in the same room, and then we just play for 3 or 4 days. And then after that we turn it into like we pick this is a nice chunk, and then we just like put it on an album basically. But
have you played much live shows? You have, as you said, Vårt Solsystem is like dozen people, so
yeah,
it must be quite difficult to like tour or something.
Yeah, we've never toured, but we've played quite a lot of live shows. But then we've been around since like 2012. So some years it's been more and other years it's been less. And the last year, I mean, we did another recording for an album, but it didn't really ended up finishing it because we were lacking a huge chunk of the group. So we did like mostly basic recordings, like the backing band. And then we wanted to have another session where you'd have like 10 melody makers just recording, jamming with the things we'd done and see what happened. But we haven't really got to that point. Everybody got kids, so it sort of slowed the whole process down. It's like
dozen babies at the same time.
Yeah, it's the planets are producing moons.
How's it going in Sweden? Like I was thinking about the psykjunta and that sort of thing, bit fringe scene.
Yeah.
Is there like how do you see it? Is there like because I think in Finland there's a surprisingly rich like underground culture thing. At least it was.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like out of it a couple of years, but earlier this decade I think it was really like.
Yeah, I think I'm out of it too, because I've been so much in the studio just making music, but I'm trying to keep up with I think that there are a lot of like Swedish artists doing great stuff, but as far as a scene goes, I don't think I'm part of it.
Yeah, scene was maybe, I don't like the word scene. That was like a... Maybe
yeah, but still, I mean, I think I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think it is happening somewhere. I just don't think I'm really part of that anymore or at the moment. I have been also Stockholm. I don't know why, but I haven't been going to as much live shows lately. The only places I've been to is like Fasching and Slaktkyrkan maybe. But then I've like been playing my own shows, and it's just a weird thing of like when you do so much music. And some periods I've been like just going to live shows all the time.
I need to see that Slaktkyrkan. That's like a...
Yeah.
I have friends who have played there, and it's like sounds interesting. But
yeah, I mean it's definitely okay. That whole area, which is a really welcome addition to the city, it's sort of they've dedicated this whole area for concerts and venues.
Postman
on Saturday. What on earth?
Local paper.
Yeah.
There's a strike in Finland.
Yeah.
We don't have like postal service at the moment.
No, at all?
Yeah. There's like a...
You should sell it to some other country like we did in Sweden.
Oh, what?
It's like a Danish, Swedish
it's like a private thing.
Yeah, it's a private corporation and it sucks ass.
You got that just moments ago. You got a...
Yeah, but
look at the date. It's 2 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually worked for the postal service a long time ago.
Were you like a paper boy, or were you in a
No, like a mailman.
Mailman.
Yeah. And then I upgraded and I worked behind the counter in post office.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a uniform and everything.
Have you saved a uniform?
In Swedish? If I saved my uniform?
Yeah, you should put it like when you play a live show, you should wear it.
When they shut down our post office, I nicked everything I had on me that day. So
it's a nice blue.
I have the dark blue pants and I have like a fleece sweater.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just walked home in my uniform and I like took away the postal service symbols.
Actually, I checked my watch and I jumped because I didn't remember it's in Finland's time. So, oh no.
Okay, so I have this rum from Nicaragua.
Oh no.
We shouldn't finish it, but you should have a taste. Did you know that the Nicaragua is like the second best in the world on cigars?
I have no idea. After Cuba.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the cigar makers had to leave the country, so some of them went to Nicaragua.
Oh, cool.
So they have great rum and great cigars.
I've never been to Nicaragua.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You look skeptical.
No.
You should really have
I'm
like
cynical.
You should have like one of those good cigars for this actually.
Do you smoke cigars?
Not usually, no. But when you're in northern Nicaragua, I mean, you have to smoke a cigar, yeah, and drink rum.
Okay.
They have a genius thing in Nicaragua. I mean, it's due to people working all the time, but They party in Sunday afternoon.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. It's like when you go out and it's noon Sunday, then people start partying and they're like dancing, and by 5 p.m. the party's over. But it's because they work all the other time.
Is there like in Swedish language, is there like a different word for party and for celebration? Because I've been thinking that I don't like that much. I don't care for parties, but I like celebrations. A celebration is fine, but a party is like I'm too old for parties. I like to celebrate stuff.
Yeah, celebration is what you do when
you have a reason to party.
Yeah, exactly. When you have a reason to party. So they have Sunday celebrations after church. When they were told that you're not supposed to be homosexual, then they go party. They celebrate.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is actually nice. Oh no, Mikko of tomorrow.
Yeah, now Mikko tomorrow is already being disappointed with the Mikko today.
Yeah, he's walking to the terminal. The long corridor and cursing. What an idiot!
Oh, and when they take the picture of you passing through the gate, they're gonna enter the boat, and when you're leaving the boat and you see that picture, oh man, yeah.
Did you used to go to them? Is the ferry a thing in Sweden? Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody in. I remember when I was a child, we went to the Viking line basically twice a year or something.
Yeah. And thankfully I didn't really do that when I was a kid, but now like every time I've been in Finland, basically I go on the ferry. It's something else though. I mean, if I don't do it too often, I think of it as like a David Lynch experience.
Yeah. That's like it's really easy to put it down, but I was just, when I came over, I took a morning departure from Åbo, and I arrived here. But I was thinking, this is actually quite nice. I have like a cabin, and I like put my backpacks down and relaxed on the couch, and this is a pretty nice way to travel actually.
Yeah, and travel by boat is not a bad way of traveling.
Yeah, and you can. I went to the not the deck, but I was on some like a lazy chair by the windows, and I read there, and I stare at the ocean or the sea, and it was like, oh, this is quite lovely. Then there was some like a drunkard who fell on me, and I'm sorry, but that's like a
that's stuff. Something you have to deal with on the on the ferries between Sweden and Finland. But I would actually go so far to say that boats is my favorite means of transportation. We have a little cabin on an island in the lake, on which Stockholm is like built around, and
I think you talked about it.
Yeah.
Once,
yeah, and the Stockholm public transportation system, they just started having like a commuter boat. So now instead of like taking our own little boat with like this like outboard motor, we can take the commuter boat, and then you can buy like a coffee, and you can just sit down and you cruise on the lake, and you jump off, and it takes like 20 minutes to get to our little like cabin. It's really nice.
Do you spend a lot of time there?
As much as I can.
Is it like a winter place?
No, and this is more like a stationary tent.
Okay.
I mean, we have no electricity.
You have to cut down trees for that.
Yeah, we have no electricity and only water in the summertime, and it's only cold water, and it's on the outside of the house, and you cook with like a gas stove, so it's really like it's aesthetic.
Could you live in a do you have some kind of dream that you would, when you get a bit older, and you would move out of the city and to the countryside and live outside of that
island,
like a bit outside of society? That's not possible, but in a like a.
Well, I'd be. It would be sufficient to live on that island to me.
Oh.
Because there are no cars, and
you should organize a festival there.
yeah, it would be absolutely horrendous. But there are no cars, and it's like untouched pine forests. So you walk around there, and all these like lichens and mosses and old pine trees. A lot of like different mushrooms and like elk and deer and badgers and just nature, and I love it. And you're 20 minutes from the city, but it's like you're far off in some God forbidden place, and it's just, I love it.
Sounds lovely. Cool. Oh, we've been talking. Wow, 75 minutes. Marathon.
Oh, marathon. I won't listen to this.
Me neither.
No. 75 minutes.
Yeah, we discussed lots of things.
Yeah. I never ever in my life thought I'd be in a podcast, actually.
Really?
So, yeah. So this is a completely new experience. I hope someone will tell you if I did a good job.
Yeah. I don't want to hear anything. Nobody sent me nothing, you know. Yeah. Are you guys? Is Dungen making anything next year? Do you know?
Yes. Well, I think so.
We need to get you back to Finland at some point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting because it's always hard to know what's really happening in the band. But, I mean, there are things brewing. I know Gustav has been recording a lot of songs. I don't know how many, I don't know how much. And it might be that the album is being released in 3 months, and it will be as much of a surprise to me as anyone else. That can happen. I know things are happening, but I just don't know what, and I don't know when. Yeah. Same procedure as always, actually.
Yeah, it was lovely. Your show in the H2O was so special.
It was really special.
Great. It was basically the last gig of the festival ever. And it was like really beautiful. Usually I don't like. My job is to like kick the artist to the stage. Just I push them, go to the stage. Stop like. You go to the stage on time, and then after the band starts, I will go I go to the office and I cry there. So basically that is my job. But I watched your show there, and it was really lovely.
I remember it as a very, very special gig, actually. We talked to the light guys, the visuals guys, before the show, and I loved what they did. It was like we played with the projections they made, and then when I've seen pictures of the stage, it was like, man, wow, that's us, because it felt like we had created something together, but we just talked briefly, like 5 or 10 minutes before the show, and they understood completely, or they were just into the same way. It was like really this like same wavelength, because it felt like we could play with what they were, the visuals they were making. So it all just felt just massive, and it was like it felt like a good show.
Yeah.
And it was such a good vibe at that festival. Like the crowd, I just remember one of those times when it's just like, wow, good vibes.
Yeah, that went well. Yeah, but maybe we should end this and start our.
Oh, I just finished.
Is it Saturday? Yes.
It is
Saturday night. Yeah. So I won't keep you any longer. But it was nice talking to you.
It was really nice talking to you. Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah. See you. Let's do it again in the future sometime. Yeah. But thank you, Mattias. Yes.
Thank you.